to say in deciding whether a president should be removed from office under the 25th Amendment to the Constitution. The legislation has zero chance of passing. Zero. But in introducing it 25 days before the election, House Democrats now trying to raise questions about the president's fitness to lead, highlighting several examples of what they say is erratic behavior since it was confirmed he is infected with coronavirus. CNN's Manu Raju live for us on Capitol Hill tracking this. It is a bit of a stunt, Manu, but the Democrats are trying to say they have a point.
Yeah, they're raising concerns about the president's conduct, his behavior after getting infected with the coronavirus. But they're saying that this is not necessarily going to apply to this president, but for future presidents. This is not expected to get a vote before the election. But the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, indicated that this is something that potentially could come up in the next Congress. Now, of course, this deals with the 25th Amendment. Under the 25th Amendment, a majority of the cabinet with the vice president could essentially declare that the president is not capable of serving in office. Also, the 25th Amendment gives the body of Congress, established by Congress, along with the vice president, the opportunity to move ahead and say the president is not capable of serving. And at that point, the vice president would immediately become the acting president. Now, under this legislation, it would create that body by Congress to essentially make that determination about the president's health. This commission, under the legislation, would have 17 people, 8 people and each side and each party would essentially designate people to serve. An additional person also would be part of this. They would ultimately vote on whether or not the president is fit to serve. The commission would study the president's behavior and make that determination and his health. Now, when I asked Speaker Pelosi just moments ago whether or not she believed that the 25th Amendment should be invoked given the situation involving President Trump, she didn't respond. Listen. Would you concede that the president has not met the threshold for invoking the 25th Amendment?
That's not for us to decide. It isn't about any of us making a decision as to whether the 25th Amendment should be invoked. That's totally not the point. That's not up to us.
So she would not say whether or not she believes that the 25th Amendment should be invoked. She's saying the point is to create a process to determine one way or the other if a president should be removed. But of course, all of this has to do with the current situation involving the president at the moment, spotlighting their concerns and making this a point right now ahead of the election when all these questions are being raised about the president's behavior. But John, you're right. It has no chance of becoming law. The question is, will it become law? And if it does, it probably have to wait until next year. John.
We will see if it carries over. Manu Raju live on the Hill for us. Appreciate it, Manu. Thanks very much.